That's not how you do it. I gotta stop for a minute. Okay. Okay, good. Logging into this. Now you just gotta wait, see if anyone comes, I suppose. Hang on. This is not showing. I guess I'm gonna have to go to normal YouTube. There we go. Your channel, my channel. We should be public. We are. Share. Twitter. Okay. Over to here. Yes. Paste the link. Wait, what? That's not the one. Breathe, my friend, breathe. This is. I'm not happy right now. Can you tell? There we go. I can delete this one. This is not me going live. And the tweet is wrong too. I'm just like, oh, come on. I'm gonna figure this out. I thought I made it very clear which one I wanted. No, I did not make it clear enough. I'm just like, no, that's not what I want. Oh, oh well. We're getting this to work. Just gonna test. Yep. Now we tweet it. Oh, gotta make sure it goes. Where? Live now. A hi. Gotta get the right Stampy because apparently I've been going crazy during the, I don't know. Not important, not important. Here. Oh. Hello. And getting the tweet out again. Hopefully this works this time. Let's test it. Yeah, we'll get started to reading it once I get the tweet out. Ugh. Share. Link. I don't know why. Yeah, the wrong one. Everyone does not how you spell everyone. Guy. There. Which means you probably actually got the link and I didn't need to delete that. It's just this one that. There we go. That's working properly. Hopefully we can get a few more people. Not that it matters, but yeah. Basically, if you clicked on this video, you probably already know that I am going to be reading from chapter 2, however far I need to go. And yeah. I've already read chapter 1. It's in a playlist, not in the description, because for some reason they gave me something I understood, and then they messed it up, basically. So I'm like, back to square one, and that's fine. I'll just go as I have. That's definitely on my channel, under playlists. Like, Clockwork Plan. I'm doing this on my phone. I can't tell. It's backward. I've already read chapter 1. Took me about 20 minutes to do. And now I'm going to be reading chapter 2. Yeah. There's a delay in the stream, so. And there's a delay. Yeah. It's pretty warm in here when I have the special light on. So. I have a switch it on right now. Yeah, we scroll to number 2. Okay, chapter 2. Number 2, chapter 2. I guess people are just gonna come and go, and I'll just read this. Probably retitle the stream later. Just like how many chapters I read. Put it in the playlist. Just go from there. This is usually what I like to do. Like when I have, well, basically I do it with my animals. But since I can't really do that with my animals anymore, like I do videos about it. Well, the best part is actually read it live. And, yeah, bow in my backpack. Mysterious. Think we're good? Let's do it. Let's see if you can figure out whose perspective we're reading this, because I don't mention their name at all in this chapter. The name doesn't get actually mentioned until later. Yes, it is. It's just a fun detail. Then again, fans would probably know. I don't want to say too much. Meanwhile, in a world far away from where the boys called home, away from any sort of communication or thought, was a world full of peace and cheer, of hope and freedom, of happiness and delight. It was the closest thing one could get to a paradise. But it wasn't. Not in the slightest. But it did have one thing in common. The people who lived in this world, most of them, lived in harmony. To an extent, of course. world was far bigger than anyone could have imagined. But in the heart of that world was something beyond anyone's understanding. It was a fairly large town. Perhaps it could even be considered a city by some. But it was a town that stretched far and wide, connecting to a fun land that stretched even further. Pretty big. It was one of the happiest places of all the worlds. And it was untouched by the cruel outside world threatened to conflict. Not for long. Auto brightness. Boop. Whoa. Oh, that worked. Living within the borders of the lovely town and funland were four friends. A beaver, a reindeer, an elephant, and an orange ginger cat. All of them were fairly happy in the world that they called home. A place where everything appeared relatively peaceful. Walking down the birch. I did not fix that mistake. Walking down the spruce and birch checkered path. Birch and spruce checkered path. I do not know why they grammarly deleted that, but then I can fix it. I know what it's supposed to be. Birch and spruce. I can't do it at all. Checkered path up after a long day of building and working was the orange ginger cat alongside a beaver who was wearing light blue leather armor. The beaver stood tall and alert, keeping an eye out for any danger as the sun began to set on another day. As they walked, the cat couldn't help but notice eerie silence that seemed to follow them wherever they went. Part of him was glad that there were no signs of googlies or monsters anywhere nearby, but another part couldn't help but wonder any of this was normal. I'm sure we can finish the build tomorrow, wouldn't you agree, William? The cat asked the beaver, finally speaking for the first time in a while. William nodded, not saying anything. And again, he couldn't say anything. None of the helpers could speak. The only way they could communicate was with their actions. It made having conversations far more difficult, in a way, and a lot more fun. But the cat didn't mind. The helpers were happy, and that was what mattered. Doing. It didn't take long until they could see the house up ahead. It wasn't the tallest thing. You know, it wasn't the tallest or biggest thing he built. But it certainly held far more memories than anything else he did in his world. His home. A home he shared with both friend and enemy. The cat swallowed as he thought about the two people who wanted change, who didn't like how he was running things. Just thinking about his nemesis saddened him slightly. Aw. Why couldn't hidden target see that everyone here was happy? That's a big clue. He wasn't an unreasonable overlord. like he claimed. He was just a cat, no threat to anyone. Then again, perhaps the man never would understand. I mean, you just had to live with that. The cat looked ahead, taking in the house where he lived. William lived in a cave right across from his balcony, which was also where he spent his first night in his world. He couldn't believe just how much time had passed since he'd gotten to where he was today. And he wouldn't have been able to if it hadn't been for his friends, who had been with him all the way. Okay. As the cat neared the entrance to his house, he noticed William looking at him quizzically, as if he was expecting him to say something. The cat managed to smile and nodded. "Good night, William. I'll see you in the morning." William, the beaver, nodded and began to walk over to where the doghouse was, climbing the stairs to the farm, taking a shortcut back to his home. The cat was fine with that. He opened the door and walked out into his house, closing it behind him as he did so. But before he stepped away from the door, he felt hairs on the back of his neck stand on it. Something didn't seem right. He looked out the window, peering over at the doghouse carefully. Before opening the door again and going towards it. It never hurt to check. He managed to get to the front of the doghouse and hesitated for a moment, listening carefully for any sign or sound. Hint as to whether or not someone was in there, besides the dogs. He took a deep breath and walked into the doghouse, and down the long hallway, taking out his little overpowered diamond sword as he did so. He quietly walked into the doghouse, not really knowing what he would find there. But when he entered, he was puzzled to find that it was empty. Except for the dogs, of course, who all seemed intrigued to see him here. "Is everything all right here?" the cat asked with uncertainty, looking at the dogs before finally putting away his sword. The dogs all barked and whined eagerly, reassuring him that they were indeed safe. There was no danger. Its target wasn't attacking. Why would you be so nervous all of a sudden? Don't worry. I'm reading a book that I'm writing right now. Technically, I already wrote the whole series, so sharing it with you guys, it's like, it doesn't matter if I have to hear theories. I already wrote it. I might change some things, but yeah, this is basically a story that I created. I just finished like last year, and like earlier this year, and yeah, I had to, like, it's a story that I created to just share. It was just for fun. At first, it wasn't meant to be a fan fiction, but it just ran smoother with YouTubers. I had to research them all, because at that time when I was writing, I had no idea. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know how to write a good story. And along the way, it just came together. And sometimes they unintentionally answered questions that I'd never asked, but I had in here. Like the helicopter. You'll find out later. But I was wondering whether or not it was still there. And Stampy answered that. Without me having to ask. He just said it in the video, like, hey. But It's a good story. Right now we're on chapter 2. We're just getting introduced to the second, technically third main character. We've already introduced to the 2 main characters, 2 young boys who go to school, and one of them found a piece of paper that had a mysterious clock on it, which fortunately isn't the thumbnail of this live stream. I could not figure out how to do that on Streamlabs. Probably could figure it out in the studio, but I just I can't. I just did this on a whim because I have time. Oh yeah. Trying to think of what else I could add without spoiling anything, except what's already in the description. Yeah, like I could tell you a summary, but basically you find that out a little more in chapter 3, and we're halfway through chapter 2. Yeah, we just If you were looking for a hit to target deck, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Just not right now. He's just a minor character based upon the other characters, but yeah, just a minor villain. It's really small. Really, really small. It's like got no importance whatsoever except the plot. And to get referenced a lot. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. It was probably my imagination. The cat sighed, shaking his head. Sorry for disturbing you guys. I'm off to bed now. Yeah, my best Stampy impressions. I guess most of you probably know that already. But we don't find out his name in the story later. The dog barked again as the cat walked out of the doghouse and back to his house, trying to reassure himself that there was nothing he needed to worry about. He didn't need to be concerned about his target. He knew he'd be able to stop whatever scheme he had planned with the help of his friends. If it came down to it, he had no reason to worry. But as he reached the door, he still couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching him. But he shook it off just as quickly, eager for some rest. He was tired. That was all it was. There couldn't be anyone there lurking around in the shadow dead of night, watching. He looked over his shoulder and peered around it till he was sure that everything was clear. The sooner I get to bed, the better, the cat reassured himself, opening the door quickly as he closed it behind him. All he wanted was a peaceful and safe home where everyone could be happy. Last thing he needed was to be scared of the dark, which he most certainly was not. Well, he hoped not. The cat let out a frustrated sigh, eager for his bed to get some well-needed and well-deserved sleep. He'd had a long day, and he needed a break. Perhaps after finishing his build, he could give his helpers and himself a small break to relax and just enjoy themselves. Maybe even play some games in the Funland. That certainly would be fun to do, and not as tiring. He needed a break to do something fun for a change. He walked into the storage room and led into another room, where 2 bedrooms were. One was where his 2 golems, Henry and Hilda, spent their time, and his bedroom, where he woke up each new morning with a familiar routine that he very much appreciated. Typical. It didn't take long for him to find his bedroom and open the door. Walking inside to find one of his dogs, his oldest and most loyal companion, Barnaby, waiting for him on his dog bed. "Looks like you're more ready for bed than I am," the cat told the dog with a chuckle, as he went over to a chest and opened it, rummaging around until he found what he needed. A cake. He took the cake over to the table by the window, next to the jukebox, and placed it. He stepped back to admire his work, feeling ready for a good night's rest. Life was still there. But as he walked up to his bed, he found himself hesitating, looking out onto this balcony, wondering if there was something he was missing. Something just seemed off. He couldn't understand why. His thoughts were brought back when he heard Barnaby whining softly by his dog bed. The cat looked down and smiled at the dog. "You wouldn't let anything happen to me, now would you, Barnaby?" The dog barked confidently, wagging his tail before cocking his head. The cat sighed. "I'm fine, don't worry about me." The dog growled gently, his eyes full of certainty. The cat managed to smile. "I know you don't believe me, but I'm okay. Really, just a little tired. That's all." The dog wagged his tail again and lay down, putting his head between his paws. Looking up at the cat one more time. Cute if real Minecraft dogs did that. Oh, so cute. The cat smiled and nodded before climbing into his own bed. "Good night, Barnaby. Sweet dreams." The cat crawled the rest of the way into bed. And closed his eyes as his head rested on the soft pillow. The bed made him feel soft, safe, washing away any scary thoughts or uncertainties that had crossed his mind. No reason to be afraid. He had friends he could trust and count on. And besides, no matter what happened, he knew they would get through it together. He just hoped that they could. That's the end of chapter 2. But we can move on to chapter 3. Just enjoy chapter 3. Yeah. Unless, well, yeah. Move on to chapter 3. Okay. Let's do it. Chapter 3. Sam and Liam were walking down a dirt path from the town towards their home, which was a little ways away. The woods surrounding them were unusually quiet, just as they were being. As Sam didn't want to talk to his brother, but he just wasn't sure what they could talk about. He thought about telling him about what he had found in his locker, but it probably wasn't anything important that brother needed to know about, right? He wasn't sure. As they continued walking, Sam's mind began to wander, thinking about everything that had happened that day. He had worked hard and did his best in school, and his brother tried to spend time with their friends. He and his brother tried to spend time with their friends. But it never seemed like a good time, and Sam wasn't really sure what he wanted to do. Part of him wanted to hide in these woods, away from his father and his responsibilities he had as the older brother. But another part wasn't completely sold on the idea. It wasn't like he had much of a choice in the matter. His father was in charge over them. He made the rules, which they had to follow, whether they liked it or not. They rounded rounded another corner before Sam finally saw a clearing ahead. The trees surrounding them began to thin as they came up to a small hole, with gray mossy walls and tinted windows. It seemed gloomy and unsettling. Or maybe it was just old. After all, before they moved in there, it had been abandoned. It was a forgotten relic in the town, so to speak, when it used to be much bigger. Times have changed, and Sam didn't mind what he saw now. It wasn't too chaotic or too calm and quiet. Somewhere in the middle. It was his home, after all. It wasn't like he really could complain about where it had been or where it might go next from here. Still, a lot of things on your mind today? Liam asked his brother. Catching. Still a lot of things on your mind today? Okay, that wouldn't be weird. Catching the older boy by surprise. Yeah, there is. The older boy nodded. Sam looked straight ahead. Both kept on getting home. He hoped that their father wasn't home already. Then again, he could be. And he wouldn't be happy that they were late. It frustrated the boy how the man failed to understand. Shut up. Sam was tired of doing things he didn't want to do. Tired of being forced to study and work when he could be outside enjoying the world he called home. Come on, let's get inside, Liam said simply. It doesn't matter if Dad's in there. We can ignore him and do what we need to do. You sure it's what he wants us to do? Sam asked, raising a curious eyebrow. Liam shrugged. Depends. But he needs to see that we're a bit more mature and understand what work and study means. Sam sighed and shook his head. I'm already pretty tired as it is already. I know. Liam nodded. But it's not like we have much of a choice. No matter. No, you're right. Tim agreed, deciding that it was best not to argue. After all, this was his brother. And if it meant staying out of the argument with his father, you'd take it. They made it to the door, and Liam walked over and put a hand on the doorknob and looked back at his brother, who nodded at him. He opened the door as Sam stepped through, feeling of unease wafting over him. He wasn't sure what it was coming from, but he assumed it was just his nerves playing tricks on him. His father wasn't dangerous or even hurt them in any way. Nothing threatening about him that would scare him. It was his father. Still, there was still a thought in the back of his mind that he debated whether or not someone was watching him. Or him. Yeah. Clearly somebody's watching him. Liam closed the door behind him. The door closed. Why does it say doors? There's not more than one door, there's only one door. This is when Grammarly messes up. It's like, oh, there's supposed to be both. No, it's just one door. One door. Liam closed the door behind him as Sam set his bag down and looked around the main room, known as the living room, which was empty, to his relief. His father wasn't home yet, or if he was, he hadn't heard him come in, he could be sure. But his relief returned to unease when he heard something in the kitchen. He glanced over at Liam, who shrugged. Sam gestured for him to follow, and they went quietly towards the kitchen. I wonder. Passing the couch over by the window that was across from an armchair, separated by a small table. The seats were made of dark fabric, while the table was slightly brighter color of the shade of brown with rolls of highlights in the wood. Very swirly. As they approached the kitchen, Sam stopped walking, taking a moment to listen. There was silence for a long moment. Someone in there? Was Dad in there? Hattie heard them coming. Before any of the boys could scramble back to their rooms, they heard footsteps coming towards them. But they didn't sound like their father's hard and firm steps. Oh no. The steps of someone who took charge and demanded obedience. Delicate, gentle, simple steps that Sam couldn't help but remember. He'd heard those steps before. Wow, but where? Where? Where could it possibly be? Sam finally stepped back from where he was hiding, where the footsteps came when the footsteps came closer. He looked up as someone peeked around the corner, a smile on her face. It was that of a young woman in her mid-30s. She had fiery red hair tied back in a tight braid, with bright green eyes that sparkled with intrigue. Emily does not seem to like that either. Good afternoon, Sam and Liam, she said with a soft smile. It's good to see you finally decided to come home. Where's Dad? Sam asked, still stunned by the person he saw before him. She recognized the smell, recognized everything about her, but how? Did he know her? Probably. He's still working for at least another hour or so, she shrugged. I missed you two very much. Oh, I'm sure you don't really remember me as well. Mind refreshing us then? Liam asked cautiously. She chuckled. I'm your Aunt Rose, but you too can call me Rose. It's probably better that way. Why? You don't like being called an aunt? Sam asked quizzically. No, it's a little more complicated than that, she said with a sad smile. But I came here to tell you two something. You did? What is it? Sam asked eagerly. Why now? Liam replied. I think you two are old enough to understand what's really going on. After all, I've been absent from my family for years. No choice, really. I just wanted to keep you two safe from someone. Yeah, you really do have some bit of explaining to do, Liam said matter-of-factly. Why don't you two take a seat? I'll go get something for you, she offered cheerfully. Sam and Liam glanced at each other before shrugging and walking to the couch, sitting down as they waited for their aunt to return. What do you think she wants to talk to us about? Sam asked. Like a family secret or something? It does happen a lot in stories we've read. But it can't be that obvious, Liam said with a smirk. I'm pretty sure we don't have a lost sibling or secret powers or anything. Sam laughed. Yeah, I think we don't if there was something different about us. And how can you be so sure? A voice from the kitchen, and the boys looked up. The boys? This is the boy here. Boys. Boys. Had a smiling Rose as she walked toward them with a plate of warm chocolate chip cookies. Do we have superpowers? She asked curiously. No, not that I know of, she mused. But you don't need supernatural powers for what I'm telling you today. Oh, Liam nodded. Then what do you want to tell us? Is it a family secret? No, it's more of a secret from everyone, she replied. And telling you, even your friends, could put them in serious danger. Really? Sam asked. Yes, really, she sighed. And she sat down on the armchair that was across from them and beckoned them for them to eat. The boys hesitated for a moment before Sam picked up a cookie and began to eat it, enjoying every small bite. It was one of the greatest things he'd ever had. So, what is it that you want to tell us? Does Dad know about this? Liam asked, asking the question that were swimming around the older boy's mind. Your father knows about what's going on, but he doesn't want you to be a part of it. But I feel like it's your choice to choose. That's why I'm giving you that choice. What do we get to choose? Sam asked. Before I say anything about that, I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you a little story. Not just a story, just a little story. About a friend of mine. He was just about your age when he had his first encounter from one of these bad people and had been tortured and interrogated because he had found something that he wasn't supposed to. It turned out that what he had found was a part of a plan to stop a group of people known as YouTubers. For years, these people have been threatened and destroyed by these awful people who had two brothers that were in charge of it all, both of them wanting to seek revenge. Trying to get a little more light here. What? My beanbag just doesn't want to follow me. But why? What did the YouTubers ever do to them? Sam asked. What happened to your friend? She sighed and shook her head. He's okay, but he's not the same anymore. When I found him after that awful man had hurt him so much, it was hard, and it is still hard, even after all the things I've seen after I left you guys. Why did you leave? Sam asked. Yeah, why did you leave? Your mother, she replied slowly. Your mother died in one of the rescue missions, losing her life to protect it in the process in order to save a friend. I saw it, and your father never forgave me for it. You two were very young at the time, and he told me to leave because I was a bad influence on you guys. But I knew he was right, in a way. Staying here would have put you in danger, and I couldn't let anyone get hurt if it could happen. Oh, Sam replied quietly, nodding his head. He couldn't really remember his mother all that well, but his father had refused to tell them what had happened to her. He understood why, because the man didn't want them to do what they were doing. What? Why doesn't Dad want us to know about this? Sam asked. He doesn't want you to help the cause to protect the YouTubers, Rose explained. He doesn't feel like it's worth the fight. That we should be well enough alone. Why are you helping them then? Sam demanded. Because I've seen what people can do to them. They're innocent of what these men are claiming. They've never hurt anyone, and all they wanted was to live happily, freely, in harmony. But the men wouldn't have it, and that meant someone needed to step up and do something about it. And that is what the leaders across A Light to Light is doing. That's nice of him, Sam replied matter-of-factly. Rose nodded. There's a lot more to the story, but before I can tell you more, I need to ask you to do something. Liam and Sam glanced at each other again, Sam feeling a wave of excitement filling him. If you could have the choice, without your father getting in the way, would you be interested in helping the YouTubers? Yes, they both said in unison, looking surprised as they said it. Liam cleared his throat as Sam noticed Rose was smiling. Why do you ask? Because we need help, and I felt that you two were ready for this, she replied. If you wanted to help, that is. But are you sure Dad will let us? Liam asked with uncertainty. She sighed and shook her head. Your father's very stubborn. You know that. Yeah, Sam nodded. We don't have to study, do we? The only thing you two need to learn is how to protect people. She laughed. It's not that hard. Good, said Nugget. I'm tired of studying this stuff anyway. Oh, it's useless. She reminded him. Yes, you can learn far more practical things from other people, from people who understand and see the world far differently than you do. I like that, Sam said with a nod. Getting someone else's perspective on things is always nice. Sure is, she nodded. But I don't want you guys to rush this decision. Take some time to decide whether or not it's what you really want to do. I want to help, Sim said, getting a nod from his brother. Both of us do. Rose smiled sadly. You remind me of your mother. Determination to help others, even if others don't feel they deserve it. No one has the right to push someone around just because they're different. I spelled there wrong. Did I? No, I think I spelled it right. Liam said determinedly. That's just wrong. You're right about that, she replied, looking at the two of them before adding. But I'll give you a few days to decide, okay? And if anything comes up, be sure to tell me as soon as you can. Yes, ma'am, Liam said confidently, and Sam nodded in return, feeling uneasy all over again. Do you happen to know what your friend found that caused him so much trouble? Sam asked her, startling both. But before she could answer his question, a door slammed open, and they all looked to see a tall man in what looked to be a business suit. He had blonde hair, a shade darker than Sam's, which was a golden brown color, dark blue eyes. He had gray streaks in his hair, and Sam felt nervous seeing them there, looking at all of them. What are you doing here, Rose? The man asked simply. I wasn't expecting you. I don't often come, announced, she replied with a smile. It gives things more unpredictable. The man scowled. Why are you here, Rose? I was just talking to the boys about what I've been doing for the past few years, she said with a shrug, as if it meant nothing. They deserve to know, for their mother's sake. What did I tell you about talking to them without my permission? The man demanded angrily. You know how I feel about this. Stupid YouTuber business. Sam shuddered, unnerved by how the man had used the name that had been given to threaten people when he didn't even know, and yet felt he needed help. He couldn't explain the feeling, or understand what it could mean. All he knew was that something wasn't quite adding up between the two people he knew. They're ready to make their choice, Mark. I've told you already. She almost got an accent there. She replied. The time will come when they need to know what's going on. It's too dangerous for them to be in the dark about these kind of things. It wouldn't be as dangerous if you weren't off helping those people, the man snapped. They don't deserve it, nor do they need your help. Just leave them be. Let them deal with their problems alone. Let innocent people die? She asked, raising an eyebrow, sad look in her eyes. They aren't innocent, and you shouldn't be influencing my sons into doing this, the man snapped. Their mother would have wanted them to know, Rose said quietly. They deserve a choice, like she had a choice. The world isn't always about choices, Rose. It's about doing what you're told. There's no right or wrong in this equation. Only the kind of mess I don't want my sons getting into. Please, Mark, she said quietly, looking over to the two boys. Can we talk about this somewhere else? Mark scowled but nodded as he looked over to the boys. Get your bags and go to your room, and don't come out until I call you. Clear? Yes, sir, the boys said in unison, not wanting to argue. Sam noted that the man hadn't said anything about studying, just that they stayed out of their way. Sam was happy for once to stay out of the argument with his father, though he did feel bad that his aunt would have to face him alone. Maybe she could handle it. Sam went down the hallway after grabbing his bag and found his room, opening it as he went inside, closing the door behind him. He dropped his bag by the door and walked over to his bed, sitting down as he did so. He was exhausted, and his head was starting to hurt from the argument he and his brother had overheard. There certainly were still a lot of questions and uneven ground when it came to what should be done about the YouTubers. He wasn't sure what he should do about it. Did he have the courage to disobey his father? Did his father even give him a choice in the matter? Sam lay back against his pillow, resting his head on the bed rest as he... Headrest? Yeah. Yeah. That would be headrest, not bed rest. Bed rest is when you're injured and you have to cover. That's not right. Bed rest. Headrest. There we go. As he looked up at his ceiling, which was pale white color. That went weird. Color. Bland and uninteresting. Well, something went off. Everything he knew was just as it had always been when it came to home anyway. Sure, new people came and old people went, but the layout of his town was the same. Even his home felt the same, just as boring as everything else. Was there something missing out of all this? He couldn't be so sure. His mind wandered as he turned his head to look out the window. Not really in the mood to study, but he knew there's a period right in between new and his. This is sad. Oh, this is so sad. Oh, I'm just keep making mistakes. Here we go. Okay, we're good. Wouldn't be happy with him if he caught him just chilling out in his bed. He was the responsible one. He needed to set an example, but he didn't want to be in charge. Didn't want to be the older one, especially if it meant he spent the rest of his life doing boring stuff. He wanted fun, adventure, to meet new people, to see new things. He just wasn't sure if his father would even let him. The man was stubborn. He knew that. But he was really willing. Was he really willing to force the boys to stay here for the rest of their lives as it came down to it? If the man that it was for... I think Grammarly must have cut something out. Yes, I'm blaming Grammarly for everything. And then I spelled believed wrong. How beautiful is that? It's not my fault. Oh, believed that it was for their best. He would. But was it? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, still, even the thought about his father couldn't. But even as he thought about his father, he couldn't help but remember the question that Rose hadn't had the chance to answer. He knew why he asked it, and he'd hoped that he'd be wrong. that his father had stopped her from answering his question. Stopped him from knowing what was going on. Should he try to talk to her before she left? Would his father even let her? Should he even tell her about what he found in the locker earlier that day? Sam took a deep breath as he got out of bed, debating with himself whether or not he should see if he could talk to her. He wanted to. He really did. But with his father home, he needed time to think. He didn't know what else to do. After all, it was a simple question, and if he was wrong, then he could live with it. But I can reject that call. He needed to know. He opened his door and stepped out into the hallway, looking around the hallway to make sure no one was around. His brother was probably in his bedroom, but Sam didn't want to bother him right then. He was on a mission, and he needed to do something to save himself from uncertainty and worry. The boy went down the hallway quietly, listening out for any sign of an argument. There was nothing. On his knees, the boy walked towards the main room, and he looked inside to find his father looking out the window with the back. Seriously. Okay, what are you doing now? There we go. His back turned. Come on. You know you can do it. There we go. Turn towards him. I love how Grammarly makes things very interesting. A look of anger and determination on his face. Sam knew better than to bother him when he was like this, and began to turn back when he heard his father calling for him. Sam hesitated before he stepped out, revealing himself as the man looked at him. The man's eyes were cold and hard, and no doubt the boy wouldn't like what would happen next. What did she tell you, boy? What do you mean, sir? The boy replied, trying to do his best to remain calm. What did she say to you, boy? It's just a simple question, the man snapped. She told us about the YouTubers, the boy replied, about what was going on. She didn't offer you a chance to help them, the man said slowly. The boy began, but stopped himself. Part of him wanted to tell the truth. It was actually a wrong number. Like, hey, it's okay, just don't reply. Sorry, wrong number, I called. Luckily, they were not calling when I was live streaming on here. Oh boy. Let's continue. Part of him wanted to tell the truth, but he wasn't sure what to say. Where is Rose? She left, and she won't be coming back, the man snapped. Why do you want to know? I had a question to ask her, the boy said nervously. Anything you ask for her, you can say to me, the man replied. Sam shook his head. I can't. Why not? The man demanded. I think I should go, the boy said aloud. Not until you answer my question, boy, the man said coldly. The boy swallowed. She asked us if we were interested in helping the cause. Nothing more. It was only an offer. And did you take it? The man asked. I want to help, the boy replied honestly. Was your question anything to do with that? No, it was something else. It's probably not important, the boy replied. So the man sighed. You're probably right. Now go to your room and finish what homework you have left. I'll make us some dinner, all right? Yes, sir, the boy nodded gratefully. He turned to walk back to his room before the man stopped him. The answer is no, the man said simply. For what? The boy asked. For helping those people, the man said firmly. You won't be helping them. And that's fine. Sam swallowed and shook his head. But I thought, I'm trying to protect you, Sam. And right now, that means keeping you away from your aunt. Yes, sir, Sam said. See you soon. I'll call you when dinner is ready, the man said simply as the boy walked away, heading back to his room, feeling even more annoyed, frustrated, and uneasy as before. The only reason why he hadn't told his father was probably because he knew what the man would have told him. He probably was right. There was nothing to worry about. Nothing he needed to be concerned of. He wasn't even sure why he'd been so nervous before. That's a recipe for disaster. That's the end of chapter 3. Yeah. We can... A small mini break. Get some water. Some agua. Yep. Yeah. Should we read chapter 4? What should we call it today? Yeah. Chapter 4 might have something. It's like, odd numbers, even numbers. Like, when I had to rewrite this whole book in 1 month, I rewrote this whole book in a month because I accidentally got rid of it. I actually made some needed changes so that these 2 characters would be the main perspective and not having it jump around between 3 and then putting one of them in the back burner. It's like, just keep it out. It's like I can make it interesting. I like, this is fine. And the book are fine. I just added a few fun parts. Like, some targeted acts. It's not even the first one. I've done quite a few more. Just for fun. Oh, they feel very rushed. Very... I guess you guys have to decide. These things are long, so I guess let's do it. Chapter 4. This will be the last chapter for the day. And yeah, I will put this in the playlist. And yeah, you get to see my raw reactions, even though my raw reactions are just already in there. So it's a surprise. It really wants me to sit over there, but oh. Chapter 4. The cat woke up the next morning feeling refreshed and ready for the new day in his world. He climbed out of bed, and looking out his window to see that the sun had indeed risen. It made the world all bright and cheerful, and he was happy. It was as it should be, and he wanted nothing more than that. He stretched before walking over to the balcony, opening the door as he stepped out into the morning air. He took a deep breath, closing his eyes as he did so. It was a perfect day. No clouds could be seen in the sky. All he could see was bright and simple detail. Everything he saw was unique in its own special way, and he liked that. As he stood on the balcony, he suddenly noticed snowballs flying through the air over by Harriet's house. Harrison's house. Harrison's house. And the cat looked to see a house not so far away with a joyful and excited reindeer bouncing on her balcony throwing snowballs. The cat laughed and waved. Good morning, Polly. It's good to see you today. He watched as his friend stopped jumping and looked at him, but he knew without needing to see that she was smiling. Why don't you meet me by the love garden while I eat breakfast? The cat recalled to her, receiving a quick nod before she disappeared in sight. She can also jump from the balcony. This time she disappeared in sight. The cat had an open smile, glad to see that Polly was ready for whatever came in next. Suddenly, he heard footsteps behind him and he turned to see an elephant wearing gold pants and walking in the doorway onto the balcony, holding a cookie in his right hand. Can't really say. But it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense. The cat smiled again. Good morning, Fizzy. Looks like you're ready for the day. Yeah. The cat nodded and he grinned back, eating his chocolate chip cookie. The man... The cat nodded and went to return to his bedroom. Right. Thanks for reminding me, Fizzy. I need to have my breakfast. As if you needed to be reminded. The cat walked into his bedroom and went over to the cake that he had put in his place that previous night, ready and eager to enjoy each and every bite. He quickly ate his cake, energized and ready for the day ahead. His mind alert and focused. We don't have much left to do, the cat replied. If we finish the build that we're working on, I think it should be fair to play some games in the Funland. When sugar? Yep, that's the part. Then he left for joy, nodding his head gritty. The cat smiled, happy to know that his friends would be there to help him. He certainly couldn't finish it all by himself. He walked over to the door that led onto the rest of the house and took a right turn, heading towards the love garden. Yeah. Right. Obviously, I've done research. Heading toward the love garden, where they would meet Polly. It didn't take long for them to get to the love garden, and sure enough, the cat found the reindeer waiting for them by the heart of in the middle of the garden. Are you ready for this, Polly? The cat asked eagerly. Polly nodded and smiled, gesturing for the cat to lead the way. The cat suddenly heard a whine at his heels, and the cat looked down to find Barnaby standing beside him. You're right, Barnaby. We should go to the doghouse and see who will be joining us. The cat said with a genuine smile as he led his friends over to the doghouse, all thoughts of what he'd felt the previous night. Wait, go ahead. Bye-bye. He walked to the doghouse and entered with the dog as at his heels. Once Barnaby sat down, the cat found another dog to join them. He walked out with his choice, Corey, which was Corey, for that day, and headed outside, where he found his helpers waiting for him. Come on, there's no need to wait for me. You could already be at the build by now. The cat laughed jokingly. Ah, receiving smiles from his friends, who were determined to go with him. He liked that about them. They sometimes would run ahead. Not far. Sometimes they would stay close by to keep him company. Not that they needed it, but they appreciated it when they did. As they walked along the path, nearing where they would be finishing the work that he and William had started yesterday, he suddenly felt a wave of uneasiness wash over him again. He pushed it out of his mind as soon as it erupted, not wanting to think about it. After all, he was surrounded by friends. There was nothing to worry about. Yet the target wouldn't dare try to attack him when he had his two friends here with him. Especially not with Polly's infamous snowballs of doom. Say it that way. Should I say it that way? Snowballs of doom! I love that. They finally arrived at the place where they were building. The cat looked up at the completed outer shell. But the best thing was bringing the building to life. Not literally, no. But putting the things inside of it, giving it a purpose, a reason for being there. Sure, he didn't always come back to them and use them, but the purpose would still be there when he needed them. Fair. The cat opened the door for his friends to walk through, letting Corey sit down outside, reassuring him that he would let him in once the floor was finished. If you remember to. He walked into the room and looked around, giving his friends a reassuring smile. Ready for some spontaneous sleep? How long has it been since he did that? A year? Yeah, a year. The kid asked his friends eagerly. It was a game that they liked to play, where they tried to dig away most of the ground and be the last one standing. It helped that there was a pit underneath the building, which there was. It was a perfect game to play. After he gave the cue, they began to play, and the cat enjoyed the small game that he had with his friends. Even though he didn't win, he enjoyed it. After this short game, he spent a half hour putting in the floor, getting the inside ready for the things that would need to in the near future. He had full confidence that they would be able to finish it by the end of the day. He didn't think it'd take very long. Once he was done covering the hole in the floor that he needed, he looked at his friends. We're just about done. He finally went to work on the decorations and furniture that the building would need, adding a desk, tables, and chair. Once he was done, the cat stepped back and admired the work he'd done. He noticed Polly and Vinny hanging out by the front desk as if all playing what they were ordering. Aww! The cat smiled as he told them that he'd be outside. He walked outside to find Corey where he'd left him. The dog looked up at him with relief and disappointment. The cat chuckles and sighed. Sorry, Corey. I did forget. My bad. The dog wagged his tail and barked, and the cat laughed. Yeah, I guess you're right. You will have... yeah, I guess you will have to have some fun watching us play games. He looked up at the sky to see that it was early afternoon. And there's time to play at least one or two games. But before he could go back inside and tell his friends to come along, he noticed Corey change of attitude. Cheerful barks turned into growls. Suppose cat. Is everything alright, boy? The dog didn't respond as he looked at a certain direction in the cat followed his gaze. Froze when he saw it was perching on the ledge of one of the buildings. A red parrot. The red parrot. What are you doing here? The cat whispered, more to himself than to the bird. The bird didn't make a sound before taking off and flying away. He debated whether or not he should follow, but something wasn't right. Stay here, Corey, the cat warned him. I need to check something out. Let the helpers know where I've gone, okay? Oh boy. The dog barked and seemed to nod, as if telling him he would do just that. The cat thanked the dog before going after the bird, watching as it fluttered away over the roofs of the buildings and around several corners. Was it leading him somewhere? Should he go to the doghouse and make sure all the dogs were okay? This wasn't just any parrot. It belonged to its target. He watched as the parrot flew over a few more buildings before disappearing from sight. The cat stopped running, realizing he wasn't in the town anymore. All that was left were trees surrounding the area. The cat stepped back nervously. And it was a good thing he did, as an arrow whizzed over his head. He cried out, "Oh Lord, told ya." The cat looked up to see someone walking out of the shadow of the trees. A bow in hand, with an arrow knocked right at him. The figure was of a man in red and gold robes, with a golden crown on top of his greasy black hair. His beady black eyes bored into the cat's green eyes as the cat stepped back even more. Only a little splash behind him as he gasped. He whirled around to find Dash, his target's partner, sitting not too far behind him, holding a potion in hand. She splashed him with a potion of weakness as she approached him, with determination on her face. "What do you want with me?" the cat asked, looking at the two villains with both confusion and uncertainty. Should he run? Or could he run too? Why were they here? Were they trying to trap him somehow? Another arrow whizzed by the cat as he yelped, taking another step back and the eyed beaver warily. If she wanted, she could splash him with a potion of poison. And if its target were to get him with one good hit, he'd be goner. What was stopping them? What did they want? Speculation time. Suddenly, snowballs began flying through the air, scaring the two villains until the target sent another arrow flying, hitting a tree, and he turned and ran, looking back at the cat with a golden stare flies. No. He was actually not too far behind, and the cat watched in surprise and relief as they ran away. He turned to look behind him to see Polly and Fizzy walking toward him. You guys came right on time, the cat said with relief. With a relieved smile. Thank you. They both nodded, and the cat looked over his shoulder with unease. I think we should make sure everyone at the doghouse is okay first before we do any celebrating. He watched as his friends nodded, and he heard a sharp bark beside him. He looked down to see Corey beside him. The cat smiled and knelt down to the dog. You're such a good boy, you know that? Glad you're okay. The dog whined and wagged his tail, licking the cat in the face as the cat laughed. Come on in. We don't have a moment to lose. They ran back the way they had come, going the quickest route to the doghouse. Route. The cat wanted to make sure his doggy companions were okay. After all, the dog was pretty well known for wanting to steal his dogs to create a dog army and take over his world. I can do that in one breath. The cat and his fans had stopped him time and time again, but he'd never been able to get rid of him. No matter what he tried to do, his target always came back. They had to be ready when it did come again. It didn't take them very long to get back to the doghouse. The cat stopped at the entrance of the doghouse, looking at his friends, who were both heading for the other exit. Knowing what he wanted to do before he even said it, it wasn't like they hadn't done this plenty of times before. The cat. Well, maybe not Polly and Fizzy, but they know the gist. They know how it works. We'll go for it on the count of 3, the cat replied to his friends. Both the elephant and reindeer nodded. The cat took a deep breath. He didn't hear anything inside the doghouse, but that didn't mean much. It was good to make sure. 1, 2, 3! All of them ran into the doghouse at once, and the cat entered through the long hallway, entering to find that the dogs were just fine. No sign of the target, or the dash, or the parrot. They'd done it. They'd foiled whatever hit the target's plan was. He sighed in relief and smiled at his friends. I think we all deserve to have a break after everything today, the cat admitted. We can have another entire day of games tomorrow. I promise. The 2 helpers nodded, agreeing with him as they walked outside the doghouse and towards the cat's house. He was definitely relieved to know that his target was taken care of, but he still knew the villain would come back. He always did. He didn't know when, but that didn't matter. He needed to be ready for him whenever it happened. Right now, he could relax, and he needed to rest after seeing what so nearly happened. And he wasn't sure what was going to happen. Were they trying to abduct him? Hurt him? Scare him? He didn't know anymore. But he was braver and stronger. Stronger than them. He wouldn't let them win. They couldn't win. It would mean the end of everything he knew. Everett was so happy here. He didn't want to take the effort from them. I'll be in my room if you need me, okay? The cat told his friends. He entered the house. He waited until they nodded before closing the door behind him. Eager to do something relaxing for a while. Certainly couldn't hurt. He deserved it, after all. Yeah. Oh, the rotate is messing with my phone right now. Oh dear. It's not that big a video. We're about finished anyway. Oh. Yeah. What do you think of that? Watch as my phone crashes. No, my phone did not crash. Don't you worry. Yeah. I'm just like, apparently I can go over a page. Single completely refreshed. Yep. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not gonna say anything. Cause like, yeah. Wow. Wait a minute. I can't see it from there. Oh my gosh. I hate this so bad. It's funny. Apparently Stampy was in my stream too. Like, ah! Hello. Wow. That's just cute. I'm just so sorry. Like, ugh. I know, I just noticed that. It's like it's not showing up here. And like I was using my phone to read this and I just didn't notice. I thought it would work, but apparently it's not loading all of it, which is weird. Just noticed there. Does that work? Clearly not showing up on this, but I just noticed. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh. Well, that's good to know. Oh. I know. It's just so weird. It's like I totally didn't expect it. Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. That makes my day at least. Yeah. It's probably just a weird Streamlabs thing. It was a weird glitch. Weird glitches. They happen. A lot. I don't know. There's no reaction to it. Like, I'm just gonna probably put this on the playlist as a enlisted baby. Like a little treat at the end. It's like, whoa. Like, it goes to show that, yeah, he does know about it. And that's fine. Just a small thing. I'll probably do more videos about reading these stories, and that's fine. And yeah, I like reading stories. Like, if you guys want me to, I could not only do the first book. There's a total of 40 chapters in this story. And then there's more books, around 30-ish chapters. And I'm like, that's a lot to do in just one per chapter. Like, if I do streams like this, I can read more than one chapter and just see how it goes. My phone and iPad have a weird way of recording videos. I haven't actually tried on my iPad, but when I tried to do it on my phone, it just didn't do it. Unfortunate, but it wouldn't be a raw reaction because I've already reacted to it. I've already seen it. Like, I was there when the tweet went out. Like, ah. I even mentioned that, like, yeah, you do the screenshots. You did totally different, and I'm like, good for you. Like, it's not the best, but it really stood out. Like, I said that somebody could easily take a screenshot of that stream, upload it. Someone did that too. It's funny. Yeah. Send it on Twitter. It's not a huge deal. It's just something nice. From creator to creator. Just saying, yeah, I get you. Just have fun. It's like, I can easily get to screenshots, fine. It's like I can see the actual live chat all the way from when I said hello just to test it. It's like I have the testing on my screen, but it's not showing. Like, yeah. It's not working. yeah, it's really bright, but it's all the way up there, and then up. Yeah, you can just about see it. You can just about see it now. Yeah. And this thing, if I had seen it, I would have stopped reading, but nope. Nope. It totally failed. And it was probably pretty early on, too. Like, wow. Just came on to say hi. Yeah. That's nice. It's just really crazy how these kind of things happen. I will take a screenshot, upload it, like, totally missed it, but, yeah, I gotta end this stream because, yeah, it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Yeah, I gotta make sure I unlock the door because I locked it, so no unsuspecting visitors could creep in. That, yeah. Otherwise, I would have to delete the stream because my temporary foster sister I can't take pictures of. Ooh. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah. I was planning, well, technically I was planning on renaming and redoing this description and stuff, but yeah, like I'll leave the live chat on so you guys can see that, yes, he was there, I just didn't notice, like, it's my vision kind of stuff, kind of messed up, and then the glitch, like, it's not working, see? It's not. This is my line, and like, I'm just like, sitting there, it's like, there's no way to know, yeah, it's not refreshing, it's sad, yeah. I've already watched it though. I've already watched it. I've already seen it. I saw it when it first happened. That's how recent it was. I don't need to watch it. Oh yeah. I should probably get going. Thank you so much for watching. I'll get this thing figured out, and yeah. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye. Finished. End it. There it is. Hang on, I'm finally ending it. Oh. Finish event.